Have you ever spent an entire evening buried in your books, trying to absorb information, reading and rereading the same material, highlighting lines in every possible color, even watching multiple videos, only to wake up the next morning feeling like your mind has gone blank? Like all of that time and energy just vanished overnight? You're about to forget 70% of what you studied today. Yeah, let that sink in. It's frustrating, right? You might even begin to wonder, is it me? Am I just not smart enough? Not disciplined enough? Maybe my brain just isn't wired for memorization. Maybe I'll never be that person who can remember things easily. But what if I told you the real problem isn't your brain at all? What if I told you your memory, your focus, your ability to study, it's all fine? It's just that you've been using a system that doesn't actually work with how your brain naturally learns. To fix it, we need to look somewhere unexpected. Japan. Because in classrooms across Japan, there's something quietly incredible happening. Young students, some as young as 6 or 7, are learning to master some of the most complex symbols in the world, kanji characters. Each symbol carries layers of meaning. They're like little puzzles, part story, part history, part structure. And yet, these students are not only expected to understand them, they're expected to remember them long term. So the question becomes, how? Is there something special in their water? Are they born geniuses? Are Japanese students just naturally more gifted? The answer is no. They're not born different. They're not superhuman. What they have is a method, a structure, a philosophy for learning that's both gentle and powerful. And the best part, you can start using it right now. It's called the Japanese study method, and it's built around 5 timeless principles, each backed by science and each simple enough to begin using today. Let's start with the first principle, the one that changes how you think about studying. Technique 1. Active recall, the power of retrieval. Imagine your brain as a giant forest. Every time you try to recall something, you carve out a little path through that forest. The more often you walk that path, the more defined it becomes. But here's the thing. If you just stare at a map of the forest, that is, if you keep reading or watching or highlighting, you're not creating a path at all. You're just looking at it. To remember something, you have to walk the path. You have to try to recall the information without looking. This is what Japanese students do constantly. They cover their notes, they quiz themselves, they speak the answers aloud. They don't wait until they know the material to test themselves. They test to learn. It feels harder. It takes effort. But that's the point. Learning sticks best when your brain has to reach for it. And now that we've activated your brain's retrieval system, we need to talk about how to keep it from burning out. Technique 2, the Kumon principle, progress in small steps. In Japan, there's a world-famous learning method called Kumon. But unlike cram schools or intense tutoring systems, Kumon is based on the power of small, consistent steps. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't do it once for 2 hours. You do it twice a day, every day for a couple of minutes. The Kumon method breaks learning into bite-sized, achievable goals. And every time a student completes one of these micro-tasks, they get a tiny sense of progress, a little psychological reward. That's what keeps them going. It's not about motivation, it's about momentum. This kind of consistency rewires your brain. And before long, those small wins stack up to create massive change. So what happens when you combine active recall with small daily progress? You create a system that doesn't just learn, it remembers. Technique 3, spaced repetition, memory like a garden. Think of memory like planting a seed. When you learn something new, that's your seed going into the soil, but it won't grow unless you water it. If you water it every few hours, you drown it. If you forget to water it for days, it dies. Spaced repetition is about finding the perfect moments to water your memory. Day 1, learn it. Day 2, review it. Day 4, quiz yourself again, then again on day 7. Day 14, day 30. Every time you return to that material, just as it's fading, your memory gets stronger. You're reinforcing it at the exact right time. This isn't just theory, it's science. It's how long-term memory is built. Apps like Anki help automate the timing. But even if you use a simple notebook, what matters is consistency, not complexity. Technique 4, Kaizen, tiny improvements that add up. Kaizen is a Japanese word that means continuous improvement. It's not about sudden transformation, it's about getting a little better every single day. Applied to studying, Kaizen means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means focusing on the process, not the outcome. One flashcard session, One page reviewed, one small concept explained to yourself. And tomorrow, you do it again. This mindset keeps you from burning out. You stop chasing perfection and you start valuing progress. You make learning feel doable, and the more doable it feels, the more likely you are to stick with it. Technique 5. Suzu, rituals that signal focus. Before many Japanese students begin studying, they perform small, intentional rituals. They clean their space, they prepare their materials, they sit quietly, some light incense or play calming music. These aren't random habits, they're signals. They tell the brain, it's time to focus. This is called Suzu, a soft mental chime that shifts you into learning mode. You don't have to be rigid. Maybe it's a cup of tea. Maybe it's 5 deep breaths. But when you create a ritual that prepares your brain, you'll find it easier to focus and less tempting to procrastinate. So let's bring it all together. Active recall, engage your brain through retrieval. Kumon principle, build momentum through small steps. Spaced repetition, time your reviews for maximum memory. Kaizen, improve gently but consistently. Suzu, use rituals to enter a state of calm focus. Together, these principles form the Japanese study method, a smarter, calmer, brain-friendly way to learn that works, even if you feel lazy, overwhelmed, or behind. Start with just one principle. Let it become part of your routine, and over time, you'll feel it. Not just in how much you remember, but in how confident and capable you feel. Because you don't need a perfect memory to study well. You need a system that respects your mind. This is the Japanese study method.